Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Ohio, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Illinois. Go to hardafseltzer.com today. Click on the store locator and enter your city or zip to find the closest location nearest you.
We are gold for energy. Send it. Incoming. Put the money in the bag, man.
As I said, your paycheck is your thank you.
What's going on back there? This is awesome! Welcome to Earth! No. Who's flying the plane? Get cockpit. Go. God.
Black Rifle Energy, dropping near you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution. Brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. Yeah, kids, welcome to the Revolution on a special Wednesday edition. I don't know that we've ever done this before, Jesse.
No, we probably haven't.
Probably have not.
Right.
But 2020, I think.
2021. When did we stop doing the show? Like 4 days a week?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
After COVID. After Jesse wanted to be a
Hey,
mom.
but ding, ding, ding. Breaking news
Breaking news today. So we're going to go live, picture in picture with you guys here. Obviously, we've been covering the Diddy trial for the last couple months, on and off, brief morsels throughout. Before we get to whether or not, because they're live during his bail hearing right now, whether he's going to actually walk out free here in a few moments, I want to ask you, Jesse, your response to the guilty and non-guilty verdicts today.
I was just sad that I was right, you know?
Were you?
It's a sad way to be like, whoa, roll the tape from the very beginning.
But
and
are
you guys were like, oh my God, what? Oh my God.
Are you sad though? Because it's like, as this continued on, you know, finally I gave in and I was just like, if that's your star witness and you're calling the first day, and then she got buried with text messages and all the other stuff saying, I love Diddy, I love Freak Offs, I can't wait to see you at the next one.
Right.
I love you so much, can't wait for the next Freak Off. I mean, it was endless text messages, emails, and other things that the defense had brought up during this case. What did you really have? And at the end of this, what's really going to happen here? Because the most serious charge of RICO, the RICO charge was tossed. That could have got him life.
Wasn't tossed. He was found not guilty.
Well, yes, not guilty. So either way, that's tossed out of this, right? As far as sentencing is concerned.
Yes.
The two low-hanging fruit items of prostitution are still in there. And yes, they carry a maximum of 10 years. However, he's never been convicted of a crime in the past. So usually people walk on this and get probation.
Yes, which is what his lawyers will be saying in this hearing, which is, you know, in any other case, if you're treating him like any other person, if they don't have any prior convictions, it's usually
time served,
lower
slap
sentence.
On the dong.
Yeah, slap on the dong and then continued slaps on the dong probation-wise and stuff.
Yes. And we had an attorney general from this great state of Missouri on the show Andrew Bailey on Drinking Bros moments ago, and we were asking about this, and he said the same thing.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's, for a first-time offender and all that other stuff, typically that's what happens in charges like this.
Yes.
Clearly, he was happy because he knelt down in court. Bob, I don't know if you can find this courtroom sketch where he was praying on the grounds. That's been going viral. That's pretty funny. And then he also said to his family, "I'm coming home," which
Diddy.
is one of my favorite Diddy songs of all time.
Whew.
Yes.
I didn't even mean to. Oh, wow.
There it is right there. Yeah. Yep.
That's
Yeah.
dramatic.
He's also on all fours in this one. And Bob, could you pop that up one more time for the audience there?
Dramatic. It was funny in one of the courtroom sketches that they kept showing on NBC this morning. They showed his computer screen in the sketch, and it just said, "KK, I need some more baby oil," on the screen, as
You're
if they're
kidding.
like showing the text on like the Today Show.
Was that true?
Yeah, I'm sure they went through. So they went through the text,
All right.
and he would have it on his
Yeah,
monitor in front of him. So yeah, they picked that.
Do you see what's on
Picture.
this drawing?
I cannot.
See
What
what does that say there on top of that?
There's a little book or something.
Yeah, it looks like a child's book on top of it.
It says
on the
the
desk.
act of positive thinking.
Stop it.
Oh, okay. So he brings that to
Are you kidding
court
me, man?
every day.
Are you kidding me?
Just gotta stay positive.
Yep. And
That's most people's problem in this world. In fact,
I know.
think the main I think, if anything, you could point to Cassie and say, "You didn't stay positive enough."
you didn't look at the bright side, is what it is.
Well, her bright side was $30 million, which we found out today. So she got $20 million from Sean,
You found that out today?
Puffy Combs. The other part was the $10 million from the
Yes.
hotel,
Which
which
we
was
knew, yeah.
undisclosed until now, where you're like, oh, all right. So you got 30 total? Because we were told the number was 20. Now it's 30. The hotel I apparently had to give up that information, and that was something they used yesterday and said, hey, you got 30 million for this. Now, Bob, I'm going to send you a video here to play on screen, this was outside. Oh, fuck you, Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter down?
Outside what? What are we?
Hang on. No, you're good then. Type in baby oil outside the courtroom. There was a large swath of African Americans
With baby oil?
dousing themselves in baby oil
No.
live on local news, and
No.
one of the females,
That's not real.
titties fell out, and yes, it is real. Yes, it is real.
I don't know.
And that's been going viral
Ross.
today. So, yeah, unfortunately, that is happening, and there was a celebration for it. Type in baby oil outside courtroom. Did you?
People are
Yep, that's exactly what I typed in. I'm seeing a CNN video talking about. Let's see. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's one of them.
People are
Yeah,
happy
play this.
about
Yes.
it?
Hold on.
they
Let
are.
me scrub it for titties.
Scrub it
Yeah.
for titties real quick. Thank you.
That one's gonna pop out.
Yeah.
Wig off.
That's the girl who took her wig off, and I believe the tits came out. Thank you, Bob. Bob, that's actually the best producing you've done, because we're on YouTube,
That's
correct?
great. That's great.
Yeah.
Because
No,
that.
Whoa!
Bob, Bob.
Okay.
Let's
So
go.
they
Great.
cut out right before them titties came out.
Here, wait, give us a sec.
Excellent
I gotta
producing,
restart this.
Bob. Yeah. You got to restart what?
Our board froze, but I mean,
Oh, you're right.
you should be okay.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Good.
Ready for it.
So this is live outside the courtroom. This is not AI.
Right. Yeah.
I saw this footage earlier. Is there volume to this?
Yeah.
Your board?
Oh,
okay.
okay.
You can imagine. It's just yelling.
Take your time there.
It's
but
just a crazy world that
wow.
we're like,
She took her fucking blue wig off in this.
all he
Lubing
did.
up with baby oil and then doing this in front of the courtroom there. Oh, look at the guy! The guy's squirting baby oil on her chest from a chair. I like that a lot outside the courtroom. This is America, as Donald Glover would say.
Always has been.
Yeah,
It's kind of like, hey, let him go.
yeah.
All he does
Oh, the
is
wig.
beat the shit out of people.
Take your wig
Beat the
off,
shit out
bitch.
of women.
Take your
That's
wig
all.
off.
Do you know what one of the best episodes of
Look at him
television-
squirting baby oil all over this
We
chick.
see it. What, Bob?
One of the best episodes of television ever was.
What's that?
Did you guys ever watch Ross? You probably didn't because you're not an animation guy. Did you ever watch the Boondocks?
No.
It's like
Neither of us are animation people.
It's like a black cartoon. It's really funny. It's like satirical and all this stuff.
I know. I've heard of it, obviously.
Right.
But, yeah,
And,
not a big cartoon
They
guy.
did a whole episode on the R. Kelly trials, and like it kept cutting away to like the people outside, like all the black people outside, like going nuts over R. Kelly being innocent and stuff like that. That's this.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Highly recommend watching that episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then people are saying, Bob, I'm going to send you this video right here to your feed. My Twitter
You have the
really
live up
slow right
still
now,
as
but,
well?
yeah, do we have ABC News
Checking
live
back
up?
on that.
Yeah, do we want to check in general?
Yeah, I just play the volume here real quick here, and we'll see. Oh, whoa. Judge denies bail?
Ooh.
Here we go.
Johnson in New York.
Put that on
coming
screen.
On the air right now because the federal judge in the Sean Diddy Combs trial has just denied bail for Combs.
Whoa.
Okay, I
hours
was
after
wrong
a
on
split
that.
verdict in the racketeering and sex trafficking case against him on the third day of deliberations. The jury finding Combs not guilty on 3 of 5 counts, acquitting him of the most serious charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. Combs guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Each count carries a maximum of up to 10 years behind bars. The verdict considered a huge win for Combs, who is facing the possibility of life in prison. He's been behind bars since his arrest in September. Let's get right to ABC's chief investigative.
I'm shocked by this.
Correspondent Aaron Katursky.
I'm stunned
and
by
Aaron,
this.
We know that the defense was hoping that Combs would be able to leave the courtroom and go back to his family today. And earlier, he even said to his family there that I'm coming home. But it turns out that is not the case. What are you learning from what happened in this hearing late today?
Sean Combs entered court just a moment ago, Whit, looking upbeat. He greeted his family, who crammed into the gallery, all in one bench, his mother, sons, twin daughters. And I think he was anticipating that he would be released following the mixed verdict, especially the acquittal on all of the violent crimes. But the judge immediately sat down at the bench, started reading his decision, saying bail is denied. He would not be released prior to sentencing because the judge said his incarceration is required based on what he was convicted of. Transportation for the purposes of prostitution.
So if he wants
the judge
time
said
served,
the defense
he's gotta
did not
serve the
make
time.
any successful arguments to say that expectation should be overridden.
All right, Aaron Katursky, thank you. Stand by for us a moment. You're taking a look at some of these
I
live images from
don't
our
agree with this
WABC
one, but
New York.
we'll see what everybody else has to say here.
Apparently, that was the letter of the law.
Yeah.
If it was, though,
So
every
basically-
outlet, by the way, mainstream news media should have reported that earlier, and they did not. Every single outlet we watched said that more than likely he would be free this afternoon.
They don't know what they're talking about.
They said more than likely. They were saying a lot of things that they had never said before today, by the way.
Cut back to
Murder in
hang on.
Texas.
Cut back to this footage here with this lawyer. She was on earlier this morning. I want to see what she has to say.
Surveillance that showed him physically assaulting Cassie Ventura. Is it possible that any of that evidence came down to what the judge was considering in terms of his release back to the public on bail?
100%, absolutely. You have to think that this judge is in a unique position that he heard all of the testimony, all of the evidence that was provided through this 7-week trial. He also knows of evidence that wasn't submitted before this jury. So he took into account what he actually heard. He took into account that it's no longer that Sean Combs is accused of transportation to engage in prostitution, but now that he has been convicted by a jury of his peers. He took into account that his ability to flee and not return for sentencing, as well as that he's a danger to the community and also to victims. Remember that Cassie Ventura's attorney, Doug Wigdor, submitted a letter to this court requesting that Sean Combs remains in custody because he is a danger to society. So taking all of that into account, in addition to what his potential sentence would be, does give us a cue into what he will actually sentence him to. While it's a mandatory of 10 years on each of these counts, there is a sentencing crime guidelines, and the prosecution is claiming that it's about 51 months to 63 months, while the defense is saying 21 months to 27 months, and Sean Combs has only been in custody for 10 months.
Bernarda, thank you. We are just getting this information from the U.S. District Judge here. citing Combs' domestic violence as part of that justification for his continued detention. He called it a propensity for violence. This is also a quote here. The judge saying it is impossible for the defendant to demonstrate that he poses no danger to the community. Again, that as part of this decision not to grant him bail, to deny bail to Sean Diddy Combs. I want to go to our ABC News legal contributor, Brian Buckmeyer. Brian, you've been watching this case very closely. You've been inside the courtroom at times.
You know,
so now
I think people had some time to think.
Brian, what are the next steps?
Had some time to have some lunch.
So the next steps will be
to kind of be like
between today and whatever the sentencing date is, and we're waiting to hear what that is. Sean Combs will be visited by someone from the probation department, and they'll interview him, speak with Sean Combs, family members, anyone else that they may be directed to, and they'll create what's called a PSI, or pre-sentencing investigation. That information will be given to both the attorneys as well as the judge, and will help guide them in terms of a sentencing. Now, Bernardo had pointed out the sentencing guidelines that both parties have put forward. The defense saying that the sentence should be anywhere from 21 to 27 months. The government saying anywhere from 51 to 63 months. But that PSI will provide what they believe the sentencing guidelines will be. And then either side will try to argue, come sentencing, that there are either aggravating circumstances, the government will oppose those to go higher, or mitigating circumstances to go lower. And that's where we'll find a sentence. And of course, the potential of what's called victim impact statements, people who will testify or give testimony about the sentencing of Sean Combs.
Brian Buckmeyer, thank you. I want to go back to Aaron Katersky. Aaron, we know that sentencing hearing scheduled for the fall. Sean Diddy Combs has already been in custody for about 9 months now, and he's also facing dozens of civil lawsuits. What more does he have ahead of him before that hearing? We know, I think it's on October 3rd.
October 3rd at 10 a.m. is when Sean Combs is going to be sentenced for his conviction on 2 counts of transportation for the purposes of prostitution. Each of those counts carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years. And so prosecutors pointed out in their letter to the judge his total exposure is 20 years in prison. And the judge today, Whit, said that Combs's propensity for violence was starkly depicted on that 2016 hotel security camera footage that may well factor into the judge's sentencing decisions. In the meantime, Sean Combs will continue to be incarcerated at MDC in Brooklyn, the federal jail.
I know you love a good DV as much as I do, but
this is at least the third, possibly even the fourth time that bail has been denied, and he will have to fight those civil lawsuits, at least at the outset, from behind bars. With
Aaron Katersky, thank you, and the entire team. Again, the judge denying Sean Combs bail following that split verdict earlier today when the jury acquitted him of the most serious charges of racketeering and conspiracy and sex trafficking. But the jury did find him guilty on those 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. We're going to return you in just a moment here to regular programming.
Okay, so we can cut out of this now here. And
so
my internet is down on my computer, so forgive me. But as we kind of go through this, I'm shocked, actually. For this,
I think it was his.
This is classic New York judges, though, taking the law into their own hands and saying, "All right."
I think him cheering. By the way, him doing that, getting under the table, like hugging. They were like so over the top, ecstatic about this, and it was not the end. And I think the judge was like, "Oh, you're fucking celebrating now? You're celebrating? We're not even, you're celebrating what, dude?"
I think it's completely reasonable to say he has a propensity for violence.
But
completely reasonable. And I think don't fucking celebrate and hugging your family and praying and getting under the desk like you fucking won something because A, you didn't, and B, you're not out yet, motherfucker. I think 100%. And they just said the judge has seen stuff that was not submitted to the jury.
He was doing the DX suck it chop to the judge.
Well, he did not do that, but it would have been awesome if he did.
But celebrating, I mean, have you ever
He's still facing 20 years, and he's like fucking 50.
But is
you know what I mean? And like celebrating,
years?
like we won, and like the scene outside and everything.
Sure.
I think that everyone had some lunch. Everyone kind of thought about it. Everyone was like, "Hey, man, we can't be fucking just like letting this guy go." I mean, the video alone.
They did also mention flight risk because he still has to be sentenced, and he is completely a fucking flight risk. He doesn't need a passport to get out of this country.
No,
but boy. I hate to be arguing on the side of Puff Daddy here, aka Brother Love, aka
it's called
Diddy.
it's called being the Diddy's advocate.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Diddy's
place
advocate.
to be, but go ahead.
Yeah, we can call you the diddler.
I know,
if you want.
and the diddler, whatever you want to call him, is fine. But as you look at this, even his own lawyer said, "Hey, if we're talking about domestic violence, that court's across the street, and we're happy to go there because we're admitting that. Mm-hmm. So that should have been tried over there. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck is this being tried here? That's one. Two, and which are showing the footage right now here inside the hotel room,
right?
Or the hotel hallway, I should say. That should have been filed a long time ago, and then going against that. If the hotel paid her $10 million, they clearly knew what was going on and everything else. That case should have happened elsewhere.
It's not about that being a case. This is about just demonstrating his propensity for violence.
Against one of the witnesses that is testifying against him. So you have to show the judge said, and they said on here that the judge has seen a lot of evidence that wasn't able to be admitted for that very reason. But this one, they found a way because Cassie was testifying and their relationship is at the center. So they were able to admit it. But the judge is sitting there seeing him fucking celebrate, getting under the thing, like praying to God, like having a party. And he actually has on his desk shit that we will never see. He knows that this motherfucker has done. And so I think in some ways he used the law. He didn't go outside of what he could or couldn't do, but he used the law, which I was thinking today. I was like, they could, because of how they feel about him, give him max. They could.
Sure, but
within the law.
Let me ask you this. Who does that come down to? And this is a question, I guess, for Bob and Jesse. Obviously, you host Crime Corner, and Bob, you've worked with your parents as a paralegal and all that other stuff. Whose decision is that for these two counts of 10 years, that carries 10 years apiece? Who does that come down to, the jury or the judge?
Judge in New York, right?
Yeah.
So some states, the jury decides.
He could be fucked. So, like, everything that mainstream media told us today, again, God damn it, you can't hate these motherfuckers enough, and I've said it for 10 years on this goddamn show, could be incorrect. So if he's denied bail today, which he just did.
Look at him.
Yeah, look at that peeking over the corner there.
He is partying, dude.
Yeah.
He won in his mind.
I thought he did too.
The judge was like, no, you haven't.
If you're looking at what just happened here, in my mind now, I immediately go to, if this is the judge's decision, he's going to give him 20 years.
Yeah, he may just kind of be like, you're just going to stay in there. If it ends up being a lesser, he just does not back to back, or if he does 10 years max, or if he does time served, or
it's 10
whatever.
years for each one, max.
Right, but you can do concurrent, right, or back to back.
Yeah, it sounds like they're saying. Well,
they're saying back to back, but I think
either, though,
I think they're just saying that as a possibility.
Yeah.
But it depends on how much this judge hates him. He could
Clearly,
definitely get appeals
him.
after that because of, I'm sure they could find things that, were not done correctly and appeal on that. But, this judge
hates him.
Yeah. And, the judge knows things that we don't know. Many times, like in the beginning of this, when I was like, hey, sex trafficking, I was like, listen, you gotta wait because everyone's thinking it's kids. Everyone's saying, Bieber. When you hear sex trafficking, you're like, oh my God, he had some like sex ring and all these kids that he was selling to people, and it really isn't it. But they did throw out a lot of stuff like that, and the judge has stuff like I said, the judge has seen stuff that like we were kind of wondering about.
I am going to play Diddy's avocado here on this one, and
wow, that's an interesting place.
It is. Because
I don't think we've ever been on Diddy's side. We were just talking about what could happen.
I'm looking at the law.
I respect a good defense lawyer.
Yes, but here's the thing. I'm looking at the law. If the jury did not see this and was not allowed to see this,
right,
it was for a reason.
Yes.
Just because the judge has seen it,
right?
Who fucking cares? Why should that influence the judge versus the jury?
I agree.
And that'll be part of the appeal.
I think there's enough that was even shown to the jury that shows A, he has a propensity for violence.
Yeah, which
B,
the judge said.
That violence was against the literal witness. And C, to go back to the other stuff, he's an obvious flight risk.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire. He's an obvious flight risk. So I think that's all, even within the law, rational.
For 2 prostitution charges, here's what I told Jesse this morning when we got the verdicts early this morning. I said, what rapper hasn't flown in prostitutes? Can you name one?
Right.
And that is literally all he's being charged with. Now, is he a fucking awful, horrific person who beat the shit out of his girlfriend and wife and all that other stuff? Yes. However, he's not being charged with that. And that's the issue here. So, dude, if you're going to try every rapper or rock star for flying in prostitutes, congratulations. We have no music for the last 50 fucking years here, and potentially longer, 60.
I don't think they're doing that. I mean, they really, if you think about it, have let Diddy get away with a lot. Like the fact that he has no convictions, it's pretty fucking amazing, by the way.
It is.
Diddy has no convictions?
It is, but
because he paid everybody off, or what happened?
What I don't know, but you still have to prove it in court,
right?
And that's the issue here. And like,
was it?
I know it sounds like I'm sympathizing. I'm not. I think he's a fucking awful person,
right.
And I don't really give a shit what happens to Diddy or not at this point. But just looking at the letter of the law, it's very unusual. Everything that's going on, and again. We had an attorney general from the state of Missouri who said the same thing earlier. It was like, oh, yeah, he'll probably get out. Because I named off the terms. So here are the terms that they listed. You ready? The defense said, we'll give you $1 million bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Travel restricted to L.A., New York, Miami, passport given up.
Yeah.
He will not leave any of these cities until the sentencing, which we now know is October 3rd. And that's pretty stock standard. He agreed with me. I don't really know what it is. Who are they talking to now? Pop back in for this one.
Also, how about Brian Steele just getting 2 RICO case wins?
I know.
Between Young Thug and Diddy.
And I think this is him, isn't it? Pop back in here. No, that's not him. It's not him? Okay. Pop it in here anyways.
What do you make of where the jury
Some
stood with
random
this verdict?
Scared-looking motherfucker.
Well, I do believe that they had a pretty diverse jury pool. You could see that they... I think it was the prostitution claims and in those issues were definitely
flip over to
clear
Jesse's camera. She's
to
prettier.
them, and they struggled a little bit more with the allegations of the more abstract legal concepts. But they have a very diverse jury makeup, different backgrounds, ethnicities, ages, and it's why it's difficult to read the tea leaves and to know what a jury panel is going to do ultimately at the end of the day. We want to get a sense of what themes, what cases, or what storylines and whatnot will actually resonate with jurors or with the greatest amount of jurors, so that they are they're going to be able to see whomever's side of the story, whether it's the prosecution or the defense.
Yeah. Ross, I really appreciate that. And if you don't mind sticking around for a bit, but I wanted to go to
Russ
ABC
will
News.
I'll be here all day.
He'll be here all night.
For ESPN's Anscape, Kelly Carter, who's been following this along with us. And Kelly, one of the things that struck me the most about the last half hour, if you will, the notes that we're getting out of the courtroom, we're hearing about Diddy with his head down. They say that he's occasionally been whispering to his attorney, but his head's been down. It also appears that he's largely motionless at the counsel table right now, according to the latest note from our team inside there. And that's a stark stark departure from how he entered, smiling and greeting supporters, and also how he's known as a personality. I mean, this is an individual who is built a brand, essentially, around being the life of the party. And, you know, at one point, it even temporarily changed his name to Love because, you know, he always had this magnetic smile. But this is quite the change.
You and this guy are
difference
on the
from
same
the
page.
kind of charismatic person, as you really accurately described, that we've come to know, you know, for the last 30 years. I mean, imagine being the person who is known for getting the party started, essentially, in whatever room or space he's in, finding themselves under the weight of all of these charges and now having to deal with, you know, the guilty verdict on 2 of those charges and trying to figure out what the immediate future looks like for him. It's a stark difference from who we have come to know. And that really, I think, in a lot of ways gives definition and really kind of illustrates exactly, you know, where his frame of mind is right now, kind of having that understanding that he's not, in fact, going home today after a long summer of a trial and kind of everything being aired out for better or for worse. So I think it's just another kind of thing that we're going to be talking about because this is just so different from what we normally know of him.
Yeah, no, well put. And I know Rena Roy is still outside the courthouse there. And Rena, as we're learning more about what the judge has told Diddy's defense team, he said that this detention is in part because of the argument used by his lawyers to secure his partial acquittal, that Combs engaged in domestic violence but not in sex trafficking. And he said that, you know, from the outset, the defense team said that in this case, it did have violence.
Yeah, this is something, Alex, that we heard over and over in this trial from defense attorneys. They said, hey, Sean Combs may be a jerk, he may be an abuser, he may be guilty of domestic violence, but that's not what this case is about. We heard them say that to the jury over and over, and that was their defense strategy.
The judge is
and now it
pissed.
seems the judge is bringing that
pissed,
right
and
back to
you know,
them today.
he
As you
can
said, he
do
said
that, and that's why many times people will appeal or try and get change of venue or whatever. If there's a judge that doesn't like you,
the judge said. You said this was a
like
case
you will
that
never
did have
win
violence.
anything.
So as to the
you know what I
basic
mean?
question of violence,
so even on appeal, it's like, are you going to go up against the same judge? Because that judge hates you. And then if you appeal because of some, you know, happens lots of times, many times. So the judge didn't like him. Yep. And can you blame him?
It should be noted that they keep pieces of shit in jail all the time between verdict and sentencing.
All
the time.
Yeah, like I was thinking today, I'm like, how would I feel if it was like he's cheering in there and then he walks out and talks to, you know, does a press conference. I mean, listen, that's why we're here right now, because it would have been
state of Idaho
insane.
Yeah.
And now we're on Kohberger.
Now Kohberger's right now.
Pleads guilty. We don't love to give this guy too much
he's not going to have, but he's not going to have airtime after this. That's it. You can press play on this if you want to. Go
sorry,
ahead.
I thought that was
Did
the
you on
judge.
that same date in Moscow, Idaho, kill and murder Xana Kernodle, a human being?
Yes.
Did you kill and murder Ethan Chapin, a human being?
Yes.
As part of the plea deal, Kohberger will be sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences for murder and 10 years for burglary in the killings of Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, the 4 college students fatally stabbed inside of their off-campus house in the small town of Moscow, Idaho. The victims' loved ones were inside the courtroom today. One family telling ABC News that they support the plea agreements, but others expressing frustration over the deal.
Yeah.
And switching gears here, severe storms.
Okay, you can turn this off now. So this is another case that I wanted to ask you about personally, which I also discussed with Attorney General Andrew Bailey. This though is personal as a parent.
Yeah.
Let's say this is one of our children here.
Mm-hmm.
This happened to. Would you rather this guy, spend 65 years in prison and just total hell for the rest of his life? It's a long time. He's a young guy. He's probably going to spend 60 to 65 years in prison for the rest of his life, or a death sentence. because the families are split.
Yeah. Well, I think a trial with some sort of answers and evidence being shown and, testimony and stuff like that can be closure. Like if you just are watching this motherfucker say, yep, I killed him. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Something about that is fucking worse. Like I want him to like have to sit in there and like, defend himself. Right?
But
I want the prosecutors to be like,
but they don't. But they don't have to. Like he doesn't have to say a word. He doesn't have to testify. He doesn't have to do anything.
Right, which I think that's more
Can
what
you
the
describe
family.
all the crimes, show all the videos and all the horrific footage? Yes. But for me personally, how on earth would be spending 60 to 65 years of my life in a prison cell where you wake up at 5:30 every morning and go to sleep at 10 with the worst food on earth in a 10 by 10 cell?
No, like for crazy people, I always wonder. It's like
Do you?
Charlie Manson was fucking sweet in there, right?
No,
he was fucking
I don't think
fine.
he's not Charlie Manson though.
But but I'm saying like crazy people to me, I'm like, is it gonna hit the same as like a normal person that's losing their life? Like this guy had no fucking life.
Well, speaking of lubing,
sorry.
Yeah, nailed it.
Lubing his life, yeah.
I would just say that I said this before on another show. Might have said this yesterday on this show.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as a prison canteen.
Right.
And if money goes into a prison canteen, then that prisoner gets, whatever they want.
I know.
Treats.
And
a little sweet treat.
That's what I said. He's going to get married. Dude.
No. You're not following
Okay.
me.
Go.
Okay.
Perhaps over the course of a few years, maybe even a few months, one of these family members finds a family member of someone else who's in that jail.
Yeah.
Isn't a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Fills that prison canteen up. Now, Doko is making a stabbing motion like it's a knife, but I wouldn't want him to be knife.
You know what? You know what's funny?
I think it's a shower broomstick.
Here's what I've thought about a lot, and I'm not kidding. If this were to happen to one of my children, I would say, look, I would go live on television and say I'll offer $10,000 per rape of this guy every single time until he's fucking dead. I don't know what the legal ramifications of something like that would be, but
you get to be in jail with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I
didn't know
would
that.
just low-key offer him a pack of smokes. I don't know if I'm leading with 10 grand.
If you go to the county, the key is if you just want to go and beat the shit out. You could also just go commit a crime in that county and try to get in jail with them.
Yeah.
You could do
if you really
that.
care
No
about your
shit.
kid, go to prison.
No shit. Is that the thing?
Take care of it yourself.
You got to do it.
Why have they never made a movie about that? That would be really fucking interesting, where you just couldn't get over it, and then you've got to commit a crime to get in jail with the same guy. Like, that would be fucking awesome.
I feel like they have. I know it's similar.
Is that the plot to Gerard Butler's
G-Butts
movie?
Which one?
Law-abiding citizen or something?
Might be. But I know in the movie, the show Prison Break, obviously he's not going in there for revenge, but he commits a bank robbery so he can be in the same prison as his brother. To get him out.
Yeah.
So same logic, right?
But it's Prison Break, that show had wild inaccuracies on the fucking thing. I loved it, though, Bob.
Either way.
It was one of my favorites.
Fill up somebody's canteen and say, hey, I'm the dad of one of the people Brian Kohberger killed.
That's all you need to say, too.
That's all you do, yeah.
You literally just say, hey.
Yeah.
I'm so-and-so's dad.
And I'm here to kill this guy.
No, you just fill up the commissary, put money on the books.
Okay.
Hey, not even that.
Not even a bunch. Just put like stuff in there.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
Right.
And by the way,
anything goes. I mean, things go a long way.
Sure.
You don't have to go directly. You can go to the person's family member.
Yeah. Yeah.
Find out where the big Idaho gang stuff is going down.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made Gary
Wild.
Plausch.
This
say that.
All even assumes that you would need someone to make prison terrible
Exactly
for
right.
him.
I think 100%.
I agree.
It's gonna be bad regardless.
You said something about school shooters having a hard time now.
Big bad time.
Anything with kids, they have a real bad time, and I think this kind of thing would be like
they don't like sickos.
Motherfucker.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're in there, if you killed 4 people, but it was in a gang shooting,
right?
It's
fine.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
But if you are a weird sick fuck and you did it for sport, basically,
and just like killed these kids.
Yeah, it's a different story.
Yeah, like I think his life's gonna be hopefully real bad.
I hope so, but
and these were bad murders too.
No shit. These were horrific.
It wasn't like
these were
went in and
gruesome.
shot 4 people.
No, and it was like spree.
Like he wanted to kill, but he just shot him. I mean, it was sadistic.
Yeah. And this guy deserves death, obviously. So, yeah. I was wondering what the rules were on that because I don't know. Dead serious. Like I'm asking that because I don't know. Also, Bob, if you go to your Twitter, I sent you a CNN video that they had to report live on air discussing people squirting baby oil on each other outside the courtroom today.
Have to address it. You've got to address it.
I guess so. I guess I'm just shocked by it.
Yeah, I would have just panned the can.
Well, Jesse, there's nothing you can do. Go ahead and play this clip.
Proper and etiquette that is happening inside of a courtroom. No, instead, I kid you not, people are pouring baby oil on one another outside this courthouse. Baby oil having a very
it's kind of like a podcast. I mean, they are on
the
all day.
They've
got to come up with things to talk about.
Rico. You've got applause coming when the mother of Sean Diddy Combs, Miss Janice, got out of the vehicle just a few moments ago, really, behind us and walked inside to elated cheers and her greeting the crowd. Every time the family, the children, the 6 adult children come in, 3 boys and 3 girls, they are met by cheers and also at times throughout the course of trial met by scathing and disrespectful comments as well, a lot of profanity, but been proper and...
Wow. So even CNN had to say that. There's people squirting baby oil all over each other.
Where was the profanity? Outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was outside the courtroom
well,
there.
that doesn't really matter, but
oh, boy.
I think conduct inside. Had a little bit to do with it. I'm just saying.
Maybe. But
you can't be the guy that just let Diddy walk outside.
I'm gonna make a really bold statement here. Forgive me if I'm off base on this one. All right, I'm asking for forgiveness in advance. Okay.
I don't like it.
Can I tell you that something? Can I show you something more frightening than what Diddy did, in my opinion? Okay, Bob, go to your Twitter. Yeah, I got it. Kathy Griffin was spotted out. Griffin was spotted out in public today, and is Pennywise. This is a real-life Pennywise who is out on the streets right now scaring the life out of children.
Can you imagine?
And I don't know that she should be
on
the streets.
She's wearing her own shirt.
Now. Yes, promoting her own shit. Kathy Griffin right
Well, by the way, good for her.
there. Go to the next picture, Bob.
Good for her. She got it out there.
Oh, boy.
Here's the thing.
My God, dude.
There's only
Can you imagine?
you can't pull off the dye job where you're continuing to degray your hair if you're not
adding
brown
some.
hair.
Right.
Like red hair doesn't work.
Because it makes your face look whiter, and it's just, that's a tough one.
Hairline's going back.
That's a tough color. Oh, dude, that hairline's way back there. So
I can't imagine walking by this with my children.
I can't either. I mean, do you not put a hat on? Like, what do you do
I would do
here
a hat, I think.
with this?
Just for SPF. I mean,
'Cause
you must have a lot of SPF on.
You know our
but I would
favorite,
do a hat.
Chrissy Teigen, who we love on the show, who's blocked me. And so is her whole family.
Yeah.
Just released, she got caught getting a surgery where she had a similar forehead. And so she's bringing her hairline down. Bob, if you could bring that up, that'd be
I don't know
great.
if she got caught. I think she said
did.
it.
Well, she didn't have a choice because she got caught by paparazzi coming outside the clinic. So then she had to release it here. But is this an option here?
This
so
may
she's
be
lowering her hairline, I guess. And there we have it.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah. Yep. So what happened was they caught her coming out of this facility with a full face bandage on. There was a pic, and she was like, fuck. Now I got to post this goddamn shit of what really went on. And
I think she
everything else.
welcomes any type of paparazzi or story.
I don't know. She's blocked me on every platform.
Oh, yeah, no. I think she welcomes any time a paparazzi catches her.
I just don't understand it.
I think about the stuff that she shared with us.
What are you talking about? This is her job.
Yeah.
Guys,
like,
I know.
Think about the stuff she shared without anyone catching her.
Look, but when she used to come in our office and take fitness photo shoots and stuff like that,
Right.
you know, she was like, hey, just make sure these don't get out on social media. I want to make sure the pictures are good and everything else. Don't put them out and blah, blah, blah. And like, at the time, I had no social media. So I was like, I don't even know what that is. I don't care. And then Chris had to deal with it. And because he was the one doing it. And if you cared about that, and then, by the way, this was running on a treadmill. So there was a treadmill in one of our offices that they were doing shoots on for like fitness influencers and all that other shit. If you cared about that, how do you not care about this? And go back to that picture, Bob. Let me go back to.
What do you mean? Care about what?
Like if you cared what you looked running on a treadmill, young. She was young as fuck at that point.
Yeah.
You know, but this one you're like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and post this.
She's married.
Yeah, I think she posted like breast reduction. Like she talks about all of it. It's whatever she can do to get into the headlines and onto your show, Ross. She loves for you to talk about her.
She's so rich. I just don't understand.
You know, she just wants you to talk about her.
And I find out the answer, by the way.
Of what?
Of why I haven't received anything legally or anything else. Like
about what?
I have an ex-friend of mine who produces all of his shit. John Lejeune, and was just like, yeah, Ross isn't the guy to fuck with on this one. Like, he's got the receipts, and I definitely do on this. Get all the shit from the past. And if I dropped it now, pre-breast surgery and everything else, like, yeah, it'd be hilarious. It's a totally different person.
Why would she be coming after you?
Yeah.
There was a rumor, some defamation shit or whatever, but it's like, cool, man, prove it wrong. And then it's defamation. But if not, then it's not. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had to go through a back channel to me, which is fine. Don't really care. And I said, hey, man, I've got the receipts of all this shit. Let's not forget, she was there taking the fucking model shoots in her office before all this shit started with Sports Illustrated and everything else. And yeah, I mean, I could really delve into all of it and the relationships and everything else if you need to. And they said no. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. But why would you post this? I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. I love you. I think you're the most beautiful girl on the planet. I'm lucky to be married to you. I've said this a million times on a million different shows and people and everything else. If you came to me and said, hun, I want to post this picture of myself after this, I would say, definitely don't do that. Whatever you do in this world, do not post this picture of you.
I would come to you and ask your permission to post a
or
picture?
Not a permission, just like advice of like, what do you think of this? What do you think if I posted this right now? My first response would be, why? Why do you want to post this to somebody?
Right.
What would be your reasoning?
Yeah. I don't know.
Me neither.
To be real, but yeah.
But for who? Like, is there a bunch of women struggling with this that they need to get their hairline reduced? Like, or
no, but people are saying it all. Like Kylie just released like her entire boob, like what she did to her boobs and the doctor and everything, and said like what to ask for, how many cc's, like everything.
Oh, what was it? That's great.
I don't know. She wrote it on her Instagram, but it was like one girl was just like, love how like natural looking, whatever your boobs are, like who did them, girl? Just kind of like being like, who did them?
Sure.
And she like dropped everything. It was like, how many cc's, like what do you need to ask for, what kind, partial under the muscle, here's the doctor, like if you want to, good luck, girl. Like, you know, I think it's just a trend where people are, instead of hiding it and being found out, you just kind of put it all out there. And you go, yeah, I got my forehead lowered. Come at me. It's almost like saying shit before people say shit.
Got it. Okay.
Is there a new trend going on right now where people are just smothering themselves with beef tallow?
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Beef tallow's really big right now.
I'm sure. It's always something.
Yeah, it's always something. And then
It's
I'll
like
move on to the
beef
next
sperm,
thing.
like cow sperm.
Yep.
Your own blood and sperm mixed together. You know, we're trying anything.
Sure.
We can.
And I understand that.
You know what I mean?
I'm happy to provide it.
Sure.
So if you need it, hun. I'm here for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I don't want you seeking an outside source for that. I'll give you my own semen.
Oh, I see. No.
Yeah.
No.
If that is a trend, look, I am bombs away.
Right.
You let me know.
Okay, will do.
Okay.
Will do. I think also speaking of prison and maybe what it might be like for these guys, Chrisley just got out.
Yes. Oh, my prediction came true.
That what?
I said on this show, if you'll recall, he'll be back on air in 60 days. Now, we should have taken the under on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles that first deposit up to $1,000 because he's doing shit now, right?
Yeah, so his daughter actually has been documenting this whole situation and doing a podcast.
Okay.
She
Savannah?
had a documentary, a documentary crew with her go when, they got out of jail. So, she's been working on this behind the scenes.
Oh, yes, she has. She
for a very long time.
She did a speech at the RNC.
Right. So
she was very instrumental in getting this pardon from Trump.
Yeah. So whether she came up with it on her own or her parents told her what to do or whatever, I don't know.
Managers, lawyers,
or
yes.
she learned
Agents,
from being on TV since she was very young. I'm not sure.
Yep.
But anyways, she really has capitalized on this. I mean, her podcast went, as soon as they went to jail, it was like through the roof. It dies down a little bit, right? Because then you have to actually be a podcaster.
Now they get out.
Now it goes
and then
back
it's through
up.
the fucking roof.
And we're getting bombshells.
So
yeah. So what?
Oh, wait. Hang on. So forgive me, guys, because I have not been following this. I see it out of the corner of my eye here, Bob. Is this current Chrisley right now today?
Yes.
This is post-prison Chrisley.
How does he look better than when he went in?
What are you talking about?
Well, he was working out in there.
Yeah,
he's not gay. He's from Atlanta.
He was working out. Working on himself.
He just went to a spa for 2 years. More
Beautiful.
Basically, because it's like white collar shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to like minimum
So it's
security.
like opposite of Diddy.
Okay. Interesting.
I think his wife was in the same. It was something.
No,
like,
she was in a different state.
I know, but she was in the same jail as like a Elizabeth Holmes or.
God, he looks
Do you know
great.
what I mean?
Should I commit fraud? I mean, fucking A, man. He looks good.
And then he came right out, and I think just had a couple days in the rejuvenation.
But I mean,
chair.
look at that Botox. That's on point. Usually that takes a couple weeks to settle in.
Right. I think he got some immediate. He's still got money. They didn't have to pay it back.
This right here, no, that's tallow.
That is not
that's
tallow.
straight
that
tallow.
That is not beef tallow, guys. That is injections in your forehead.
So anyways, he's talking about how hard it was for him in jail.
How hardcore it was. He specifically almost got in a prison rumble.
Stop it. He got in a fight in prison?
He was close.
In a white collar.
Come on. Close. He tells the story right here.
All right.
What
play
happened?
this.
What
I
happened
have not heard or seen this. I didn't know it. Play it.
They didn't argue. We just didn't have
we
that.
had lots of arguments.
No, Daddy.
Look at her.
Women.
Back
Daddy
in black.
almost got sent to county one time.
What, when I jumped on that guy? About you?
Yes. So that was a thing that people don't realize.
A snitch told on Lori Loughlin.
Yeah, it was the college admissions guy.
Yeah.
The college
Oh my
admissions
God.
scandal guy was there at Dad's place.
Mhm.
And what was it that happened?
He was talking smack, saying that, he didn't wear a wire, he never told on anyone, the feds set him up, this, that, and the other. Well, you and I both know because we know that whole deal.
You guys.
I love this.
Personally because of Felicity and him. So, and we'd watched it all, so we knew what had happened. So he starts talking, and then he said something about Savannah.
When he was all up in your space and he was trying to ask questions and
oh my God,
all this
I actually
stuff,
love
and
this.
Dad made a comment or something to
this
him
was the show.
I know.
Did you ever watch?
Are you trying to write another
I did.
book?
Yeah.
Because
They
I'm
were
not going to be a
hillbillies
chapter
with
in it. So
money.
get the hell out.
And so, he came and asked me, he said, have you started your book? And I said, no. He said, I've started working on mine. And I said, well, I hope that the first chapter introduces you as the biggest snitch in America. And I said, so you and I told him about Felicity and Bill and Lori and them. And I said, I don't want to ever have another conversation with you. And so he turned around and walked out. So months later, he was talking shit about Savannah, because that's when she had already started, pulling the Barbara Walters and exposing everything in the BOP. Mm-hmm. And so he started talking smack. And so I just walked up to him and I said, I'm going to say this one more time. I'm already in prison.
He was not this calm because guys told me at visitation that I'm pretty sure Dad said he would shit down his neck.
I said, I will rip your head off and shit down your neck if you talk about my child. And I meant what I said.
You did
and you know I
fine
would
in
have done
there.
that. And he was
know
like,
I would've done
I'm not,
that.
I said, I don't need you to be afraid of me. Just be aware that if my daughter's name comes out of your mouth again, I will rip your head off and shit down your neck. So
Is that
he literally,
scarier because
we never
it's
had
like
another problem
that or
with him.
not?
Fuck yeah,
I
it
never
is.
had another problem with him.
Yes, I'll
but
tell you
that's
why
the only
afterwards.
issue that I had. I mean, I told staff off. I mean, I told CO.
Wait, keep going.
He
Keep
told
going.
CEO.
Yeah, keep going for a
That was
second,
the
Bob.
story, but yeah.
He told COs off?
Yeah.
I don't understand how Rob's sketch from, I don't know, 5 years ago
Is
about
real.
Chrisley is just real.
Yes.
It's just real.
Yes, dude. Why did you not? What would make you think differently?
You know what that sketch was? It was Todd Chrisley. This is Todd Chrisley, and I'm selling Todd Chrisley straight sex condoms.
There you go.
Yeah.
This condoms for straight
That's
sex.
all it is.
And this was way back in the day. Were they were reality stars at that time?
And,
Yeah.
and Bob,
Early
by the way,
days.
before we knew you, Jesse and I had said the same shit on this show of like,
Well, no, we just said, I'm not gay.
I'm not gay. I'm from Atlanta.
I'm just from
I'm just from
Atlanta.
The whole
Atlanta.
world. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, play the rest of this clip real quick. I'm sorry. Now I'm locked in.
Well, it's a whole episode.
It's a whole
but
episode.
Not
I'll
that,
play a little
but
more, yeah.
Just 2 more minutes here real quick. This is
That he
fucking
told
insane.
off corrections
No,
officer?
because you was up there being Miss Pollyanna. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
No, I'm
because
kidding.
I will never forget at the very beginning, you called me and you were all to pieces because that one asshole CEO that walks around with those glasses on, he looks like kind of like an old Jeffrey Dahmer.
They're acting like they got
There's
bad
a lot of
service
that.
at
I know.
the Four
He
This is
Seasons.
walked her
fucking
in
nuts.
the
I mean-
cafeteria.
Oh, yeah, he was a food service. Yeah, he's
But here's the thing. Only your mother would get locked in a cafeteria. Nobody else does dumb shit like that. I never even went in our
He
cafeteria
did it
the
because
whole
he was
time.
pissed off at her. He did it on purpose.
And I would have put a BP-8 on his
He
ass.
was just a miserable human being.
BPA?
What's the
He really-
BPA?
They all are. I was surrounded
I don't
by
know. I'm not
miserable
as
human
hard as
beings.
Chrisley, dude.
And every day I got up and it was my sole intent to make their life even more miserable.
It's a
because
complaint. It's
they
just
were
a
there to make
complaint.
our lives miserable. And that's what I never understood.
Okay, quit.
'Cause you had a handful
We can't
of guys.
watch this
He
whole
is
thing.
a hardcore motherfucker. Hey guys, no,
there's spoiled
keep the
ass.
camera on me right now. I don't want to hear about Jesse's bullshit right now. Todd Chrisley will fucking end your life. He'll slit your throat. He will shit down it afterwards, dude. And then he'll return it to your family members and say, guess what? I just took a fucking shit in your dead brother's throat if you fuck with me. And I'm Todd Chrisley. I love it, dude. I'm all in now. Let him keep the money. Let him keep the fucking sweaters. Let him keep all of it, dude. What a gangster. What a lover, what a husband, what a fighter, what a fucking family member, dude. He will shit down your neck.
Also, did he low-key reveal he's friends with Felicity Huffman and William H. Macy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? We should all be so lucky.
I think he was
I don't know Felicity
either-
Huffman or William H. Macy. I'm adjacent with Steve Holloway, but that's it. You know, Steve texted me last night.
I think
that's
this
it.
is hilarious because this is Martha Stewart jail. So for you to be like walking around and saying this kind of shit in Martha Stewart jail,
No.
it's kind of fucking hilarious. He's a spoiled little prisoner.
It's
I would
not.
love to see him be thrown in
It's not.
some real jail for
It's
a
a
second.
fucking gangster, dude.
You don't say, by the time you said, I'm going to rip your head off, you've been fucking beat to
Nope.
death
Nope.
in a shower.
Nope.
Just saying,
I think he
in real jail.
I think he walked up to this guy
in Martha
right-
Stewart jail.
right out of the cafeteria.
Okay.
With a fucking soft bean burrito and starts eating it in front of this in front of that guy's face and says, guess what?
Yeah.
This is gonna run through my system faster than shit through a goose. I will cut your goddamn head off and shit down your neck if you say one more thing about my daughter. And I think that guy was afraid. I think he fucking urinated on himself, and I think he turned the other way and walked right the fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound scarier the way you're saying it. But
That's Todd
I will
Chrisley.
rip your head off and shit down your neck.
Yeah. You hear that from a gay guy?
I don't
You
want to. I
panic.
don't want to talk to you anymore.
I don't want to hear
I don't want to
your
have any more
goddamn
conversations
voice.
with you.
I'm going to eat this bean burrito, and I'm going to
So
cut
he
your
feels
head off and
like-
shit right down your throat. If you say one more thing about Savannah, motherfucker, and if you want to test me, I'm ready to eat the whole goddamn thing right now. This thing weighs 2.5 pounds. Do you imagine the shit that's going to come right out of my body and into your neck? And when your family has to put your head back on top of your body for an open casket, they're going to know that Todd Chrisley shit went right down your esophagus.
Yeah.
That's what that is, Jesse. That's a man standing up for his family. A man, not a homosexual.
Right.
Not somebody who's sucking dudes off in a fucking broom closet.
no.
That is a goddamn man. A straight man with not 1 ounce of homosexuality in him. Now I change my opinion on who Todd Chrisley is. What a fucking
Talking
hero.
shit to his wife for following the rules.
Yeah,
I mean, this
fuck
ain't
her.
gonna last.
What a loser. He needs to move on now, dude. He needs to get somebody better in his life. He'll probably end up with Ronda Rousey in a couple months.
I think he walked into jail day one. He's like, guess what, y'all?
Yeah. Yep.
Guess what, little motherfuckers?
Yeah.
There's a new poodle in this dog pound.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah.
I'm here to do 2 things. Eat some bean burritos, cut off somebody's head and shit down their necks.
Right.
And I'm almost out of bean burritos.
Right.
You fucks.
By the way, this is the guy. I think Todd could have taken him.
Yeah, I think he
That's
knew
the
that.
guy?
Yeah.
I think he knew he
That's the
could've.
guy he went up against?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Who
It
is
was
that
the
guy?
snitch
That's the little
in.
baby back snitch.
That's what he was saying. So it's the
varsity
snitch in the college admissions scandal.
Yeah, fuck that guy. You know what? Fuck that guy. And I'll be honest with you, like, because that shit has always bothered me from day one. I don't think you guys were here during that, but the Lori Loughlin shit, it was
think
like
we were.
7 years ago. I'm almost positive it was a long time ago.
Oh, were we in Wilmington?
Wilmington, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Here's the thing, guys, and this is full disclosure. The only reason you create a hard AF seltzer or go on fucking Full House or whatever it is in this life is to get your kids, who you don't know what they're going to be, they could be fucking really talented geniuses, or they could be fucking complete idiots, is try to get them into the best fucking colleges you can. I don't fault Lori Loughlin. I don't fault Felicity Huffman. I don't fault any of those motherfuckers, dude. That is the only reason we're doing this shit right now.
Yeah, here's the thing with Lori Loughlin, though, that makes her deserve jail. Do you know how much she paid?
How much?
To sneak her kid into USC?
How much?
$500,000. You could have just donated that to the university.
You kind of deserve to go to prison just for that. Yeah, just
At
for being,
USC?
for being that
you
dumb.
500 ain't getting you into Harvard. 500 will get you into USC.
No, hey guys, Harvard, or I'm sorry, USC. If you look up the stats on that, you're looking at Spielberg, Lucas, all those other guys. Like, no, 500 is the minimum to get into that fucking school. I know it sounds crazy because all of us dislike that school and it's in Compton, but for real, academically, they look at everybody else through Hollywood that goes through the USC system and they are treated differently. I swear to God. So yes, $500,000 is a minimum for something like that, for real. And yeah, would I use it to my own benefit, especially because I'm doing NIL deals with a shit ton of colleges? You fucking bet I would, dude. And I wouldn't blink. I wouldn't bat an eye at it. And if I got caught doing it, I'd be like, yeah, man, I want to get my fucking kid into a great school. I don't give a shit. That's just me being a good dad. And so, like, for these guys, the reason why they were all able to go back to work so quickly was because we would all do it for our kids, all of us. So that whole scandal to me, which is, I'm going to use air quotes around the word scandal there, really isn't one. Yeah, any fucking situation I can get into, or a conversation, or back alley deal to get my kid into a higher position of something, I'm going to have that fucking conversation, for real. Or whip out the wallet to do it.
For sure. I just thought it was like donating to the school or like being a booster or like something like that. I didn't know it was like paying some back channel.
You know what? I'll give you a different example.
For a fake rowing scholarship.
I think I would feel uncomfortable
Bob, you ready for this one?
about it. Yeah.
I got one for you. Obviously, because I live there and I'm pretty tapped in. Look up Dr. Dre's daughter. and I believe he built a music school or something on campus that was like,
yeah, but that
$100 million or
that
whatever
makes
it
sense
is.
to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Read that off, please.
Dr. Dre's daughter, Truly Young.
Stop it. He named her Truly Young.
Well, I think Young might have just been the last name of the mother, but
Well, I mean, come on.
Still.
yeah, was accepted
Truly
into
Young.
USC. He initially posted about her acceptance on Instagram.
Yep.
Humorously claiming she got in on her own, but later deleted it after it was pointed out that he and Jimmy Iovine had donated $70 million to USC in 2013 to establish the USC Jimmy Iovine and Andre Young Academy.
Thank you. So Jimmy Iovine, if you don't know who that is the biggest music producer of all time. Also involved in the Beats deal with Dre, like best of the best. He's top 5 of all time music producers, and that was $70 million. So if you're a Lori Loughlin looking at 70 versus a half, cool, man, I'll take that $500,000. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, for real. Truly Young is her name? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that,
Yeah, but I
again,
don't
there's
think they were,
nothing
like-
wrong with that, by the way.
No,
so
because
like,
that benefits other people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And also,
it does, but
nobody's
it's-
mad about
also,
that.
I don't think USC
He would not
was
go to
like-
jail for that
Yeah,
either.
I don't think USC was like 70 million and not a penny more, a
Right,
penny less.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a number where you can get your kid in that is
Guys,
reasonable. For,
I-
Lori Loughlin
I-
has goddamn.
She does not have $70 million.
She has.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, she is rich as fuck.
She does not have $70 million.
But
Do
guys.
they
could've-
not need
Yeah.
like $500,000 for
I mean,
anything there?
I'll go into a darker story if you want to know it about her, but yeah.
No.
She was married to Michael Biehn before that from Tombstone and everything else, and like, she was the breadwinner, dude. And yeah, she got fucked in a bad relationship and all that. She didn't have $70 million.
Good for Michael Biehn. But I'm just saying, like, she is crazy wealthy. She was one of the leads on one of the biggest sitcoms of the 90s.
Yep.
She has that 90s sitcom money.
Yes, but it runs out after a while, which Jesse and I have friends who are in that world.
Well, if you're fucking stupid, it runs out.
Not that, but you really have to watch your finances, and you can own a house and everything else, but like the residuals dwindle after that. So like, yes, 30 years later, it's tough to keep up with, man, for real, unless you're back on another hit show, and to my knowledge, she wasn't. So $500,000 makes sense. Now, I think she remarried somebody, if you look this up, Lori Loughlin's new husband,
Yeah,
I
it's
believe
the guy
he has
she-
money.
It's
Yes.
the guy she was caught with.
I think so, yeah.
The
so
Italian guy.
Massimo.
Well,
Massimo.
she wasn't caught with him, but in the scandal.
Yeah.
Yes, not cheating, but yeah.
No, but
so
they were both in this. I think
he has a shit
served
ton of
time
money,
as well.
and
Or didn't serve
I think
time?
Yeah,
she
he did
did.
the
Yeah,
Massimo brand. I
There
mean,
you
they
go.
have more than enough money.
correct.
To like donate something to something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
It was
And
beneath them financially, I believe. In my opinion.
And I think that's why they were like, if it was just a normal person that was like just trying anything they could to get their kids in with whatever money they had,
Yeah.
I think it would have been less egregious than just like, dude, just like donate a bunch of shit or booster or
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the fact that you're
I think Delco and I wish we would have brought in a full-length mirror in together, held it side by side, and had the two of you and Bob, look into the mirror and examine your lives after this of why you hate Diddy and why you hate Lori Loughlin. It's fucking nuts to me. It's nuts to me today,
I'm not defending Diddy.
You have.
Hey,
been
bud.
behind the scenes.
Hey,
you have.
bud,
I hate
don't
Diddy.
put me in that category.
It's mainly 'cause his
Delco.
music sucks. Like if he had better music, I might.
Delco, you've been oiling up a lot lately,
by the way-
dude. I
Now
don't know if you
listen,
go to the gym
we
after work
are
or whatever it is, but there's a
here-
lot of oil around
We are
you.
here because we wanted to play Coming Home and have Diddy
Well,
walk out.
we can't.
Listen.
We can't now,
Listen,
'cause he's
we
not coming
can't
home.
now. You're mad. I get it.
I'm not mad.
But if you really think about it,
I'm not mad, Jesse.
Also,
it's
I'm
the
just
judge's
disappointed.
last
I'm just disappointed.
gavel. In the end, he is going to have to go by the law and do whatever. But
I think
today,
the judge was within his,
yeah,
I think, by
but
the way-
today he goes, this is what I can do, this is what I'm doing.
So let's get final predictions before we leave the air, because I know you've got to record Crime Corner after this. And then we're obviously heading to the 4th of July. This was an emergency show today. We're here with you. We work for you, not vice versa. Just always know that, all right?
Sure.
We're dancing fucking monkeys, and I understand that. We appreciate it. We appreciate the love here. What does he get then? Years.
Now I don't.
We'll start with you, and we'll go to Bob, and we'll go to Delco.
Now I don't know, but
this is not bode well.
I think after the time passes, so in October, things will hopefully have died down a little bit. And
not one prayer. October 3rd, not a prayer. That is too close.
You think people are still going to want to be talking about this? I mean, the best thing about it is I just wanted to stop talking about it.
I think people are going to be talking about the years of sentencing for this.
Right. So it's a new thing for us to be talking about.
Yes.
What could he do and what is he going to do? I think maybe, 10 or less. I don't think 20. At this point, I don't know, though. This guy really doesn't like Diddy.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. So I think if Diddy gets himself right when he has his probation interview, has remorse for certain things, talks about things the way that he should, whatever it is that you do in a probation interview, I don't know. But I think he may be able to get 10, a little bit reduced.
7,
maybe
7.5.
3. Yeah, serve 3 times served, maybe time served probation. I have no idea. Today threw a wrench in what I thought was going to happen, but it was going to be crazy as well if Diddy walked out of the courtroom cheering, baby oil everywhere. I mean, come on. I think that's a bridge too far for even us. But so I think
my prediction was wrong. I said he was going to be in the Hamptons for the 4th of July.
Right. So no, yeah, I think. Gosh, now I don't know. With this judge, I do not know. He does not like him.
This is all New York judges, by the way. And I said this, and I also said this. I prefaced this, but before this trial started, I said, I don't know because New York is so fucked anyways that, I have no idea. Bob, what do you got on this prediction?
I think he maybe gets, he's not going to get max sentence. So maybe, 3 to 5 for both.
And then just back-to-back 3 to 5?
Yeah, it feels like back-to-back.
So 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, 10 years, huh?
I don't know why you would do reduced sentence back to back, but I don't know.
Look, I'm gonna say 10, and then I said he gets out in 7.5 or 5, just because this judge hates him. I thought for sure, I was for certain, and you and I were at the house this morning when this all went down. I was like, oh, he'll be out this afternoon. And then again, having the privilege of talking to one of the greatest attorney generals in the nation this afternoon on Drinkin' Bros, he said the same thing that I did. I'm at a loss for this. New York, I think, is at a loss for the city and everything else that goes on there. So who fucking knows? So I'm going to go 10, and then he gets out 5 to 7.5 years here at this point for good behavior.
So you think 10?
Mm-hmm.
And then
minus time served, and then he gets out in
good behavior. Gets
7.5 or 5 years. Yeah,
gets out in 7 years.
Correct.
No, time served would be. They double it, don't they? Time served, they double what you did already. So in October, he will be a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's already got 2 years time served.
As I'm saying, minus the 10, you're looking at 7.5.
Okay.
Because he'll get good behavior and all the other bullshit in there.
Yeah.
So. I think that's what we're looking at here, and I hate to keep bringing this point up, but yes, the judge has seen shit that the jury didn't, and we haven't. I don't know how a decision can be based on that when it's not a trial by your peers.
He can't decide if he's guilty or not, but what he can decide, the one thing that the judge has control over is sentencing. The thing that the jury has control over is finding guilt or innocence, right? So everyone's doing what they have the power to do. That's it.
Okay.
And if you're seeing this stuff and you hate this guy, what's the one thing you can do? And he'll probably give him a dressing down at sentencing too, which they can do.
Yes.
He'll give you a big speech about how fucked up you are and whatever. So
he'll make the trial about him, and he'll give a fucking huge monologue and all that other stuff. So
also, the transportation to engage in prostitution. How many people did he transport? Because if it's just one broad charge, but he transported like fucking 10 people, like you're going to get more of a crime than if you just drive one hooker from, South Carolina to North Carolina to get your bang on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, not to go too far into this, but like, how many rappers and rock stars have done it? Like, I could name 10 right off the top of my head.
Irrelevant to the case.
I understand, but,
I don't even think prostitution is, I'm fine with that, but you know what?
If the money was clean and then they did it and they said, hey, man, I mean, because that wasn't in the trial either. Like, yeah. And again, I really want to clarify. I believe he's a total piece of shit human. I have heard from others that he's killed people and everything else, and horrific person. Right. But you do this on your Crime Corner show all the time, where it's like you go by the law, and
the judge did.
This was a head scratcher to me.
The judge did.
No, but
nobody went outside the law.
He said, I looked at other evidence that the jury didn't get to see. In my opinion,
he didn't say that. They were speculating on ABC, like, he has evidence in front of him.
Okay.
So he never said that. No, he literally said you have propensity for violence. That's what you guys said. In your whole defense was that he was a violent person. So here you go.
Yep.
He has means. He can leave. If I were him, I would have got on a plane and left.
I don't understand that either.
So you don't want to give him another chance to fucking take off. And all of that was well within, like, the law.
As soon as his house was raided, if you go back into the RPR catalog here, I said he should get the fuck out of here and head to UAE, call it a day, and enjoy your life.
I said he must know, like, he talked to a lawyer and he knows something that we don't know, or he believes that he can win it. And you guys were like, what? And I was like, I don't know.
Something. Yeah, last question for you, Bob. How old is he currently today? Is he 55? Just type in
55.
55. Okay. At 55, 10 years in jail. And if that's my prediction, is a long time, man, to serve at that age. And then
I think he needs to serve something. I don't think people are going to be cool with him not serving anything. So if he wants to get out and be like, I served my time, I was found not, if he wants to be like, work with people, a Wesley Snipes kind of deal him out, what's up? He has to serve something. So it's in his best interest moving forward for him to serve a couple years.
Oh, the irony.
Give people some time to forget.
Yeah.
To think about things differently. To whatever it may be. He's in jail. And
the irony of your statement is our mutual friend worked on that Wesley Snipes thing, and I asked him, I go, what do you think? And he goes, well, I can tell you what he said. He goes, man, I shouldn't be fucking paying taxes at all. Fuck these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to compare. I'm sorry I compared Wesley Snipes to P. Diddy because it's not at all
no, it was
the
over
same.
taxes. It was over taxes, and
for someone, I don't know, someone that like served time and was like, dude, I served my time. I don't know, maybe it hasn't happened. But
who knows?
If you want to come back, you gotta have a couple years.
Gotta have something here, and that's exactly what he's gonna get. And he'll be in there until October 3rd. Obviously, we'll report that sentence live on air when it happens. Appreciate you tuning in, kids. Quick reminder, though, this is Wednesday. We typically come out on Thursday, so the show is early. We wanted to follow this live. I'm as stunned as a lot of people are out there. And there will be an audio show tomorrow, I guess, or what are we doing? Are we dropping this tonight? Yes, we're dropping this right now. So, we will not be with you Thursday. We'll be with you Wednesday instead, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will be the last show before the 4th. Obviously, everybody has the 4th off, and we'll be back with you on Tuesday. In the meantime, you have a Crime Corner dropping tonight. Which one is that?
I do. It is the Lonely Hearts killings.
Mm-hmm.
Like I talked about on the last show. That came out Wednesday. Actually comes out tonight.
That's what I'm saying. Tonight.
Yeah,
you're looking
on
at
Spotify
an hour and a half.
and Apple.
Okay.
It's a fun and flirty case from the 80s of putting out, romantic wanted ads for the lonely hearts.
All right.
And, murdering.
Yeah, I love it. That show is really taking off. Everybody's watching on video and Spotify over there. So congratulations to you guys. And even my mom, that's her favorite show, not even ours. She's like, I'd rather just watch Jesse's show every day. And I was
Sorry.
like, I get it. You don't want to hear about semen every goddamn day.
What can I say?
Or docking or Bob's prolapse statements. Like we're good.
Yeah.
I understand it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Go to Spotify, rate this show a 5-star, and leave a quick comments, because they get comment sections now over there, and we get all those and all the other stuff. And then head on over to iTunes. Rate the show a 5-star and leave a quick review. Yes, the advertisers still care about this shit, so I have to keep asking you. And we appreciate you tuning in for this special edition of Ross Patterson Revolution. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. The Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Revolucion. Buenos tardes, everyone.
Good evening.